Everyone feel good?
I just became hyper aware of if I have boogers or not.
Yeah, me too. I always forget that, or my mustache does weird things. It's got little pricklies. Are we good to go?
Yep. Wait,
right.
did you hit record on the recorder?
Yep. We're recording?
I don't see it. I don't see it moving.
It's red.
Got a distraction.
Oh, red is going?
Podcast shoes?
Podcast shoes.
Oh, they're not going to see my podcast shoes. That's okay.
Oh.
Are we ready?
Yeah.
Count us in? Ready or not? Here we go, gentlemen. 3, 2, 1. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the No Roof Podcast. We are doing I guess we're calling this the season finale.
Season finale.
Now, don't worry. There's going to be new episodes real quick. We're not taking like a long break or anything.
1 year.
You're going to see us. You're going to see us soon. Episode 11.
We did it.
We have some amazing people with us. It's kind of like our reunion here, our very first one.
Start where we finish where we started.
Can we just talk about how we have our own studio now?
Oh yeah, by the way, we are in a studio, so I think it's going to be looking like this for a while.
Yeah.
We moved up.
So yay. So let's introduce the people. We have the Rooster here with us.
Yay.
Come on, our first guest. We have my boy Choo Choo, and together we are
Chaba Choo Choo.
That's right.
Come on, clap for yourself.
Clap for yourself. Clap for yourself. And we have someone in the back. Let's say her name, Jackie Jack.
We love Jack.
Thank you. 3, 2, 1. Jack.
We love Jack. Jack. We love Jack. All right.
All right. So you guys sent us some questions, and we're gonna break some words down. But before that, we need to do something.
What
do we need to do?
Stretch.
Hit that intro.
Get to that intro. So we're going to answer some of your questions. And before that, I was talking with Rooster and Choo Choo here, and we were kind of going through all the questions. And there's one word that kind of radiated, that kind of answered all of them in a way. And they kind of link all the podcasts together. And it's the word that I know Nate loves. Nate, what's the word?
Intimacy.
Everyone say intimacy.
Intimacy. Say it real fast. Intimacy.
So I think, do we want to break that word off first?
Yeah, I think so. And then I'm just going to read the questions. We won't read all of them because it's too many. So we read the main ones. And then from there, we'll just hit
not all
intimacy.
Of them? Come on.
We'll see.
It's way too many. It was so many people that said stuff in.
I see.
All right. Oh, but what we will do is maybe take those words and make an episode out of it. So, right?
Yeah, that'd be cool. I like that.
All right.
Yeah, we value you guys commenting and sending us questions. We just love you guys. Thanks for supporting us.
Yeah.
So, but intimacy. So you want me to say the questions or you want to take the roof off intimacy?
I don't know. What should we do first?
What are you feeling? What does the Lord say?
Rooster?
I think it'll all flow together.
All right, let's flow. Let's go to the question.
I think as we talked about these questions, I mean, I read some of them, and they're like, they lead you into intimacy.
All right. So. Here we go. Question 1. What is it, Rooster? Or Choo Choo?
All right, the first one, I love it. Waiting on God for a hubby or wifey season of being single. So how do you manage, like, your season of being single? Okay, so meditate on that right there. Hold on to it. Okay. Do I have a purpose outside of being used by God for others? The other one is needing to have it together by a specific age. Oh, man, I thought I needed it all together by the time I was 7.
Yeah.
The other one is how to know God's destiny for your life. And the other question is, what's an example of knowing when you're on the right path? And there's many more, but those are the main ones that we're able to get.
Let's break them down. The first one is the single season.
The single season, yep.
Which I think all of us went through.
No, I was born married.
You were born married?
I think that's a great question. You know, I know... I don't know what your guys' story is, but my story is, you know, I got born again when I was 18. And before that, all I wanted was a girlfriend.
Aww.
And, like, I remember, like, I got my heart broken, and that's what led me to, like, suicide. Didn't have an identity.
Come on.
Didn't have anything. So that's when I met God. So I know for me, knowing God became kind of everything. And a lot of stories I hear, I don't know if it's true for everyone, I found my wife when I fully wasn't looking for her.
Ooh.
Like, just to be honest.
Yeah.
I think about the love chapter.
Come on.
Where it says love is not self-seeking.
Ooh.
Where, like, there was when I first moved here, like, and there were just beautiful girls, but I was so overwhelmed by him, I just wanted to know him.
Come on.
And through that, like, I don't want to say, like, she just kind of fell on my lap, but it just happened.
Yeah.
Like, I wasn't trying to date. I wasn't trying to hunt. I was just enjoying him. I'm curious your guys' story.
That's beautiful.
I didn't realize until you just said it now, but yeah, that's kind of how when I met Megan at your wedding. And not met her.
Well,
we met her when I was like 14,
yeah.
but I saw her for the first time since I've been back from college. And I had like just that week or just recently said, God, I just need to work on myself. Like I'm just like, I need to grow, I need to mature. And the second I said that, Megan walks in the door and I'm like, gosh dang it, God, you're not listening. I literally, like, every single day, no exaggeration, every day on our way up to our first date, I got on my knees and I begged God. I was like, I said, God, I'm praying, like, can we please just, like, stay friends? Like, no late night hangouts. Like, how do you, on your first date, sit down and be like, okay, we have to be friends?
Dang.
And we sat down to eat. Every day I prayed that. We sat down to eat. In the first, like, 5-10 minutes, she said, okay, listen, I know it's our first date, but we got to stay in groups of friends. We can't, hang out late. No late night phone calls. Don't sing me songs. We're going to keep it. And I was like,
She said that to you.
she said that
Wow.
to me. Answered all my prayers.
Prayer
Everything
answer.
I prayed in private, it happened there. That being said, though, can I just say,
Yeah.
I heard that when I was in college. I heard what you just said, and it would make me so mad. That, like, as soon as you stop looking, you'll
Right. It just sounds
fall
like
on
a
your lap.
cliche. It sounds like a cliche.
But because the trouble was, because my heart, it wasn't that I was out there, like, actively, like, with binoculars looking.
Yeah.
It was my heart was empty.
Yeah.
You know?
Come on,
so it's
talk
like,
about that.
It's like, it would be like telling somebody who's hungry, like, well, as soon as you stop being hungry, then you'll find some food. It's like, my stomach is
Yeah,
empty.
come on.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm sitting here trying to be empty. It's I'm looking for somebody to,
Yeah, feel that.
What the story said, like, complete me. But the truth is, like, yeah, anyways.
That's it.
Yeah, I'll pass it off to you.
No, that was really good.
Okay.
I think that was my story's the same as Chaba. Had a girlfriend when I was like 14 or 15. I don't know why. Like, I don't know where my parents were, but I love you guys. It's great. And it was just crazy. Like, I was, man, okay, just real quick, Want to Know Roof podcast. This is my life. I would, like, don't do this. I would literally sneak out of my house at like 2 a.m. and run 10 miles. Like, I knew it was 10 miles because between my house, there was a path that all marathoners would run and do it. This is when I lived in the city down in Alexandria. And I would run at 2 a.m. Literally break my window, jump out, and run.
You're talking 10 miles round trip?
I'm talking about 10 miles one way.
That's a
and then 10
marathon
miles
round
way back.
trip.
Yes, yes, literally.
You were seeking.
I was seeking for sure.
Love
I
is
should
not
have been.
self-seeking.
I should have been sleeping. I should have been resting. At one point, my brother was asleep because we shared the same room, and I'm on like top of his bed, like, breaking the window, and he wakes up, and I'm like, shh, shh, shit. I put him down, and I start running, and I did all these sacrifices for this girl, and then my heart ended up being broken. But I think what happens is when this is the sad thing about giving yourself to humans and giving yourself to people, is when you give yourself completely, they're gonna let you down.
Yeah.
But where God never, ever, ever, ever lets you down, because he reconciled us. I was reading in Romans and it talked about how he reconciled us through the death of Jesus. And that word reconciled is in exchange. He paid a price for it.
That's good.
And there's something that, like, yeah, running the 10 miles to get to her was a price I was paying, but Jesus paid a bigger price. And that's where my heart was like made whole, is when I finally found him.
It's good.
So that was my little single moment. It was not fun.
You have to, I think Romans 8 says it in the Message translation, where it's like, you have to embrace the waiting. You know what I mean? Which is, no one likes to do. Every season you go through, at least for me, I've noticed, it's like, once I feel like it's easy, then I'm onto it. Like, then I cross.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, like you said, you're almost like, oh, I'm not, I said, I'm ready, I want all you, God. And then bam, it's just like, it's like, he knows us so well. So it's like, he's got to get you to trust him. And that's the hard part, the surrendering part.
It's true.
I think, we talk about intimacy. To be intimate with God, like, you got to surrender.
Yeah.
Like, in this relationship with God, he's the groom. We're the bride. We're the girl. We're the one that's actually being chased, And it's like, he wants us to really surrender to that first. Because you can't get it from, like you said, we're all going to fail each other.
We are, yeah.
Like, and the other thing, remember this,
Yeah.
you can't give what you don't have.
And you can't give, exactly. So I wanted to ask you guys a question about, did you guys grow in that moment of, like, surrender, where you were like, I'm not going to pursue people, I'm just going to pursue God? Did you guys actually grow in that season?
What do you mean? Like, with him?
Yeah, just with him.
For me, yes, because I got born again when I was 18, and the church I went to before that, there was no intimacy. So I met God personally for the first time when I was 18. So it was a whole new world.
You were just singing.
and like, I was learning about prayer and meditation. I didn't know I could just sit with God and he would talk. I was young in this romance with God, and he was just wooing me. Like,
Yeah.
it was so, like, no one told me. I always prayed one way. It was, God's far away, and good luck. I hope it gets there. Where when I got born again, I was like, he's here.
Come
How come no one told me he's here? How come no one told me he's here?
Come on.
So it was literally, I lived at church. I was the guy who ran the young adults at the time. I would just hang out with him, and he was feeding me stuff, and I would just, I think the biggest one for me is I would just sit and just enjoy God.
Yeah, come
And
on.
it was so new for me. So for that's what grew. And then Kristen just kind of entered in, and like I was just like, and to be honest, she was she like pursued me. And I had no idea.
Wow.
I was like, I'm just so in awe of God, and I'm like, she's too beautiful for me, so I'm just gonna keep
Oh,
looking at God.
Chava.
But you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
for me, it was just I was really enjoying Him.
Come on.
I think that was,
Yeah.
and can I say this? He told us to delight in the Lord, which means take pleasure in or enjoy. And I think if you're struggling with the season, then you're really not enjoying it, which is what he wants, right? It's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be enjoyable. Talk to me, Rooster.
No,
Come on.
I was gonna say this morning. I was thinking about this. It's so funny because like as a married person, it's hard sometimes to hear single people give advice on marriage.
Yeah.
It's like, you're not married. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Kind of. But now you flip it, and it's like a single person asking us a question. We're all married. Like, oh, let me tell you what it's like to be
Yeah,
single. It's like, you shut up. You have a wife. But just this morning, like, if I could humbly say this is, I was spending time with God privately, and it was like, it felt so familiar because I remember spending time like that when I was in college, and it was like, God, if I die alone, I just want to be intimate with you. Like, I love the fact that I get to know you. And I was like, look, I'm married. I'm still doing this. And I realized this morning, that like, it's the same intimacy I had when I was in college single, but now I have a wife, I'm still being intimate. In fact, it's even deeper now, right? And so I was finding like saying I'm navigating navigating a season of singleness is kind of like, I mean, I get it. Please, again, I'm married, so take this with a grain of salt, but you're not single.
Yeah, come on.
You're a bride.
Come on.
Like I was being intimate with him before I ever had a ring on my hand.
Come on.
Because he put a ring on my hand. He's already proposed to me. So I'm not really single. I'm taken. I'm set
Come on.
apart. The depths of who I am are meant to be explored by him.
So good.
And there's things that Megan has no idea about, but he knows. And not because I'm trying to hide it, but just because like he can go deeper than she can go.
Yeah.
He's closer than my skin. He's closer than the breath in my lungs. Like I'm not single. I haven't been
Come on.
single.
And I think even take it to
good.
the next level where if you're not enjoying your singleness, then you're really not going to enjoy being married.
Come on.
Like, I'm just going to say that. Like,
Yeah.
like to be honest, like until you're really enjoying God, that's a good sign.
true.
You're actually not going to enjoy marriage because you're probably going to make her an idol or him an idol, which is not good.
It's not good, yeah.
Right? Then that's when
Yeah.
we hold we try to fix each other and God's not at the center. So I think if you're watching this, like, dude, you're in an amazing season, as Nate said.
Yeah.
We all had to go through the season, and it's when you enjoy it, embrace it. I don't know how do you do that? I think for me, like honestly, I was experimenting with God. Like honestly, just like I was going on, like when Chris and I first started dating, we go on dates, we go on adventures. I was doing that with God. I was like, what is meditation? What is going on walks with God? What is running with God is? What do you mean I could worship? Like these were all new things to me. Like I didn't grow up, I didn't know. I remember going to Live in Faith. That was the first time I saw people jump up and down for God. I was like, this is a thing?
Yeah.
I remember looking at Pastor Kathy like, that is a freak, and I want to be one. I want what she has. If God is that real, I want that.
Come on. This is
Are we
beautiful.
good? Is that question
Yeah,
good?
I think it's really, really good.
I hope this helps. But yeah, what's the next question?
The next question is, do I have a purpose outside of being used by God for others?
Yes.
Come on, tell me about it. Why? What does that mean?
Well, it's, even that, I think you're created to be loved by Him. That is why you're here. And I think sometimes we focus on the kind of the other podcast we had with Celeste. We make that the identity.
Yeah.
I'm here to be used. No, you're here to be loved.
Come on.
And enjoyed by God.
That's it.
Yeah.
Like, that's why you're alive. Like, that's the wrong focus, I feel like. Like, you're here to be a son and a daughter and to be wrecked by God. And through that, everything gets done.
Yeah.
And what was the second part of that question?
Do I have a purpose outside of being used by God for others?
For others?
Yeah.
Yeah, to be love. That's what I would say.
I think so. I think for me, it comes from a place of you just naturally start to love other people. So like, I think the way it works is God is so, and this is what he told me, he is so much more obsessed with me than he is about anybody else.
Come on.
His first priority is always going to be me. But back to the bride thing, back to the intimacy piece, because like, right now it's us. We're being intimate right now. And the opposite of intimacy is distance, right? So there is literally no distance right now. We're all in this studio together. It would be so weird for me to go and be like, I need to love Jackie that's on the other side of the building. It's like, I can't love her. It's just us right here, right now.
Yeah.
This is what it is. And so God cares more about him and you in this room together because he literally lives inside of you. It's Christ in me.
Yeah.
Christ in me, the hope of glory, not Christ in me with others. It's Christ in me, the hope of glory. And it's a beautiful place to be because that's where he's constantly wanting to encounter.
Yeah.
But then the overflow is what you give to others.
Yeah.
When he talks to you, when he tells you, when he's like, look, somebody came, and they automatically just feel your love.
It's good.
Does that make sense?
Well, I mean, if you just look at the Bible and look at Jesus, when he was first baptized, he came out of the water in Matthew 3:17, and he said, "This is my beloved Son, in whom I'm well pleased." I love him so much. And you look through the gospel, you see the relationship him and the Father have. It's so intimate. It's so close. But you're telling me Jesus didn't have an impact on the world?
He did.
He did, right?
Yeah.
But the whole point of him existing isn't, I mean, yes, it affected everyone.
Right.
It affected, but it wasn't outside of intimacy with God.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's no separation of your
That's
purpose is
good, Nate.
unfolded in intimacy.
That's
It's
it.
not, you don't discover your purpose like, okay, I'm born for this. Okay, God, you were right here. I'm going to figure out my purpose.
Come on.
I mean,
Yeah.
even like, I mean, with me and Levi, you know, me and my guitar, we were playing worship and earlier together. It's like the purpose of a guitar is to make music, but I was loving, having fun, enjoying playing my guitar. You are blessed by me enjoying my guitar.
Yes.
You see what I'm
It
saying?
was. Yes,
so
it
if we're not
was.
enjoyed by God and loved by God and affirmed by God,
Yeah.
then we won't be able to fulfill our purpose.
There it is.
Yeah.
But we can't fulfill our purpose outside of that. They
I
go
think-
hand in hand.
Yeah,
They
even
do.
even the scripture you brought up, and like we always say this to each other, like you're God's favorite.
No, you're God's
You're God's
favorite.
favorite. Like the foundation of that scripture is you're a beloved.
Yeah.
Like that has to be. That's why you're alive.
Yeah.
because you're a beloved.
Yeah.
And like, let's be real. If I was the devil, if I was the father of lies, I would try to pervert that.
Yeah.
I would try to get you to focus on maybe doing something instead of just being a beloved. Because I don't know, all you guys are very, I say evangelistic. You guys love people well. Were you guys always like that? I know for me, I was kind of quiet in public, but when he loved me, when that became everything, I heard someone say this, like love will change your view of people. Like I no longer saw neighbors. I saw brothers and sisters.
That's beautiful.
I no longer saw strangers. Do you know what I mean? I saw neighbors, I saw brothers. Like only love can do that.
Yeah.
Like if we try to skip that beloved step, we'll love from the wrong place.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, that's where you get hurt.
Yeah.
That's when burnout happens. That's
Right.
when you come back and you need something. They shut me down. They rejected me. And it's like, man, dude,
Yeah.
like you gotta be a beloved.
And I think it's because you carry all the weight rather than Jesus carrying the weight. And that's why we get burnt out is we're like, I have to do this. I have to do this. And God's like, all I told you to do was to sit down and let me love you. You know? And I think for me, to answer your question, I actually hated people because my heart was hurt. So I hurt a lot so I hurt other people.
Yeah.
Is what I had. I had to protect myself. You know, I got bullied, then I got a heart broken. So then I was like, well, I got to hurt you before you hurt me. I have to bite you. And I'm loud. So like I hurt people really quick with my words. And then until I met God and he held my heart and gave me a brand new heart and loved me, he was like, do you know how much I love you? That I ended up loving myself.
Yeah.
And from that place of loving myself, I was like, wow, I have a capacity to love people. He changed my filter.
There it is.
You know,
Come on.
and the thing that God does is he changes your identity first. He's always going to change your identity first. It's not about behavior. You talked about it a couple weeks ago with
Yeah.
intimacy. It's not about the behavior. It's about him coming in and changing your identity, reminding you of who you are, and then you act from that place. So for me, I don't wake up every morning and I'm like, I hope I can run today. No, I get up and go on a run because I am a runner. I'm not trying to be a runner. I already am a runner.
Yeah.
So because I am a runner, I do athletic things. I put on my shoes. I have my Brooks. I have my army shorts. This is what I do. I go out there and I run and I crush it. Not because I'm trying to become something, because I am that. You know? So I think when you love other people, you love them from a place of, I'm a son, so I'm just going to spend time with other sons.
Yeah.
But what were you going to say, Richard?
It's good.
No, I'm just-
Okay.
No, I think you hit it. Even that word beloved, be loved,
Yeah.
right? Like that's the foundation is we love him because he first loved us.
First loved us, come on.
And like it's another one. Like honestly, let's break it down. If God is love, if I was the enemy, I would try to get you so distracted from being loved by God
Yeah.
and get you working real quick.
Get you working, yeah.
For the Bible study, the men's one, we went through 1 Corinthians 13, and I love the Amplified where it says like, you could have faith to move a mountain.
Come on.
Like honestly, you could have faith to cure cancer and do good to walk out your destiny. But if you do not have the pure motive of love, you are a useless nobody.
Oh, not a
That's what the
useless
Amplified
nobody.
says. The Amplified, that thing's cold, yo. But like that, so like that shows right now that the biggest thing that God wants is you have to know you're loved by him.
Yeah.
Like so overwhelmed by him that he changes. He does the work. Like you said, like He did that.
He did.
You can't fake that. I've seen you go to Home Depot and just rock people, and it makes us late for everything. But only he could do that. Like, you let him love you.
Yeah.
Like, love changes the motive.
Yeah. Right.
You know, where even I think we get so wrapped up on, am I doing good to help people? Where it's like, if the motive isn't pure, slow down.
Yeah.
Slow down. Be loved.
So I think going back to the question, do I have a purpose outside of being used by God for others?
Yes.
God is more obsessed with you, man.
Yeah.
Like, the purpose of that is so God can love you every second, with every thought, with every moment.
Yeah.
All right, next question.
Next question.
Needing to have it together by a specific age.
Give me this one.
Go
that's a
for
good
it. Go
one.
for it.
Romans 5 in the message.
Give it
Come
to
on,
us.
I love Romans.
Come on.
Oh, sorry. I
Pull the
didn't
mic
get my
in. Pull the mic in.
Romans 5 in the message.
Bring it
My
to
mic
us.
away.
Actually,
Get there.
if anyone wants to talk while I pull it up, I don't have a message Bible actually.
I love Romans 5. I've been eating Romans 5.
Can you read the question one more time?
Yeah, I'll read it right now. Needing to have it together by a specific age. Let's just say 27 for no reason. Just 27.
That's
turning
such
28.
Yeah, that's such a.
Sure. Okay, can
Go
I read
for it.
it?
Give it to us, Rooster.
Okay. By entering through faith into what God has always wanted to do for us, set us right with Him, make us fit for Him. We have it all together with God because of our Master Jesus. There's a big sentence that goes, and that's not all. And he keeps going. We throw open the doors to God and discover at the same moment that He has already thrown open His doors to us. We find ourselves standing where we always hoped we might stand, out in the wide open spaces of God's grace and glory, standing tall and shouting our praise. I wanted to stop at the beginning where we talked about having it all together, because I remember I was sitting with you when I read that for the first time. Remember at the men's meeting?
Oh, yeah.
If you don't come to Bible study on Tuesdays, you better get your butt there, because oh my God. I go in there, I never leave the same. Megan's like, what are you even doing? But
about
we
that,
have it all together.
Yeah.
I remember I looked at you and I was like, I spend my life
Trying to get it all
if there was
together.
a documentary on my life, it'd be like, Nathaniel Knight, does he have his crap together?
Yeah.
And it's like, even when I don't, I try. And I was like, I have it all together because of you?
Come on.
Oh, that's way easier. I mean, it's so easy to look at milestones. Do I have a ring on my finger? Do I have a house? Do I have a car? Do I have a job? Do I have a purpose? Do I have am I serving in ministry? You can measure it by anything, but the only thing worth measuring it by is what He's done. Otherwise, why did He do it?
Yeah.
Why?
And like even the other the Romans scripture, don't be conformed to the pattern of this world. That pattern, even that question, is really a selfish question. It's about me, myself, and I, right? Which is a big trick of the enemy.
Yeah.
Where according to Ephesians 2:6, He has you right where He wants you to shower grace and kindness upon you. When it comes to that, like I'll speak on this. I know that was a big attack for me. I was afraid of college, but it was always a dream of mine. It was in my heart, and I went to community college for, I won't say how many years, a long time. I could be a doctor by now. But I'm not. But that's a big one of like, I'm supposed to graduate at this age. Long story short, I found God and started enjoying God. And through enjoying God, I found this thing that I liked of speaking. And I didn't go back to college till I was 28.
Wow.
Didn't get my degree till I was 31. And you know what? I was right on time. I got there by, ready for this, enjoying Him. I enjoyed, like you said, He's got me here for a reason. And I think when we start, this is where I think social media can be dangerous, is we're looking at other people's things and we're like, okay, they got the house by that age and I need to get there. And it's just like, you miss the right now with God.
Come on.
Because you're so focusing on tomorrow. And Jesus tells us, don't worry about tomorrow.
Yeah.
Don't worry about tomorrow. In fact, Jesus said, don't worry.
Yeah.
Like,
good.
don't worry. So I think if you're watching this, God has you right where He wants you. I don't care what your story is. Everything's redeemable. Like I said, for me to get to that point of going to college, I had to enjoy Him first. That was the foundation of it. Like even marriage. I married when I was, like, how old was I? 32, 33? I was right on time. Right on time.
Beautiful.
And I think when we rush the process, a lot of times that's when we get into trouble.
Come on.
That's when we miss Him. When we try to force something that He hasn't called you to do. And that's very dangerous.
Or even you get it and it feels empty.
Yeah.
Like sometimes you buy the car or you get the job and it's like, well, now I'm dying inside.
Right.
But the truth of the matter is, you talked about Jesus talking about don't worry in Matthew 6.
Yeah.
He's like, don't worry. Look at these flowers. Look at these birds. Don't worry. But before he even talks about it, he says, look at your focus.
Yeah,
if your eye's good, if your eye's single, then your whole body will be filled with light. But if it's bad, it'll be full of darkness. And the worst thing is if you think it's good, but it's actually bad, and how deep that darkness is. Because whatever you focus on will fill you. So if you're sitting here focused on getting it right or having it together, that's all this. It's always going to be empty.
Yeah, come on.
There's no. But if your
Yeah.
focus is Christ, if your focus is the kingdom, if your focus is who He is, how good He's been, I mean, then that is what's filling you.
It's good.
There's no other thing that will
That's good.
satisfy besides.
Come on.
Sorry,
You know, even that
good.
scripture, like you can't serve two masters, right?
You
You're
love
either
one,
gonna-
hate the
You're either
other.
going to serve love or fear.
Yeah.
They both don't
Yo.
go together.
I'm not gonna lie to you. This question I relate with a lot. Needing to have it together by a specific age. I was at dinner with Pastor Leslie one time. This was years ago, and she asked me. She was like, "How old do you think if age wasn't a thing and you had to give yourself an age, what would it be?" And I was like, 50. And then she was like, wow, so think about your thought process. And I was like, no wonder I feel like I'm behind. I don't have the Corvette. I don't have the car. I have a midlife crisis every day because I think I should be 50. And I started having intimacy with God and talking with God and really knowing that He's right there. The beautiful thing about knowing that He's not far away, that there's no distance, is I can turn and immediately have a conversation with Him about this. As easy as it was for you guys to DM this or write it on the comments, like, that's how easy, it's easier to talk to God.
It's good.
And so I'm talking to God and I'm like, hey, like, what's wrong with me? You know, like, help me out. And He's like, you're having fear. You're having fear that you're not going to live up to the potential that I put inside of you.
It's good.
When it was my idea to put the potential in you anyways.
Goodness gracious.
So my fear wasn't whether I was going to make it or not. My fear was, am I missing it? Am I living to the fullness that God put inside of me? And I thought about the two prophets. I don't know why they named them the same, Elijah and who's the other one? Elijah. And
Elisha.
Elisha and Elijah. And do we got to flip the tape? So what's the dude's name? Elijah and Elisha.
Elisha.
Right? And I felt like them were like
What are we back?
We're back.
and we're back. The prophet had
We
you're
flipped
good.
the
I'm texting my wife.
Text
What's
her. So I felt like them. Like the prophet, you know, he grabbed his little robe thing, he hit the water and yada yada. And then he was like, you'll have double portion if you see me. If you see me as God comes and takes me, you'll get double of it.
Yeah.
And he was like, I gotta see, I can't miss. And then he looks away for a second and he flies and he's like, I missed it. And then he got the double portion. I felt the same way. Like, I'm so focused on not missing it that I don't enjoy life. That I actually don't even get to enjoy whatever it is that I'm going through in the moment.
Come on.
So needing to have it together by a specific age, honestly, you're probably never going to have it together. So just enjoy that.
Can I ask you a
Yeah,
question?
go for it.
Because I think I have seen that too. Even like we'll be always sitting in a meeting, but you'll have a completely different reaction to it, and it's actually really beautiful.
Yeah,
it's
I
so
know,
vulnerable.
so unique.
Well, like oh, okay, we're good to go. And Rob was like, wait,
Oh, wait, say that again? Oh, okay, yeah.
In meeting,
I've
and then he
seen
brings
it.
out his book.
yeah,
He's
for
like,
sure.
I got 3
He's like,
books.
yeah, but you can feel that like I don't want to miss it. Like,
Yeah, I don't wanna miss it.
Even your question, and I'm curious, how has intimacy affected that in you?
Yeah, well, I think because I know He's there with me, He won't let me miss it. Like, there's so many moments where I thought I did miss it, and then, but we were talking about this. The thing with intimacy, the beautiful thing with intimacy is that God always has the bigger picture, right? We would call it macro vision or big vision. So He can see the whole thing. Where we normally have micro vision, or we're so focused on a small picture that we're trying to do the next thing on our to-do list, knowing that there's really no end to your to-do list because it goes forever. You're like, it's huge, right? But if you're so focused on doing the next thing and the next thing and the next thing, you're gonna get burned out. You're actually gonna miss out on having fun because you're so focused on, I'll be happy once I make it here.
Yeah, it's
good.
Right? So the
Yeah.
purpose of intimacy is for God to be like, look at the bigger picture. Your yes that you said yes to right now is actually gonna compound in the year to come, right? Like even today, there was a mistake I made with this pest guy. He showed up. He was a great salesman. I was in the middle of a counseling thing. I was pretty mad, and I hadn't learned about brave communication yet. So he got me in, signed up for this ridiculous plan. Next thing you know, I get a letter in the mail, and they're like, and I actually canceled it because I called my wife. She was like, "We're not doing that," and I was like, "Okay." So I went outside and I was like, "Bro, I'm really scared. I messed up. I need to cancel this thing." And he was like, "Yeah, no problem." And we canceled it. Next thing you know, I get a letter in the mail. It's like $800 that I owe this person. And this is like a year ago, right? And so it compounded there. And so I ended up having to be brave, you know, in the bigger picture. God was like, trust me. And from that year to now, He taught me how to be brave and how to communicate with people and how to be okay if I am going to let this company down, whether they're real or not. And I pick up the phone and I'm like, hey, nothing happened. I literally canceled it. And so between the time of me canceling it, which was on Friday, and now, I had so much worry and anxiety where God was like, it's okay, let's enjoy each other. Like, let's love each other. I have the bigger picture. And even today I got a call from them and I was like, I'm not going to answer it because I'm scared of what they're going to say. I'm going to let it go to voicemail. I'm worried. And then the voicemail was, we cleared your whole account.
Nice.
Isn't that good?
Come on.
But how much did I miss between Friday and today because I was so afraid that I didn't have it together there.
Yeah.
Where the whole time God's picture was, it's going to be a clear account. Like, if you just have fun with me in the moment, then
And I think
be good.
even or when Papa K was here, what did he say? God is outside of time.
He's outside of time.
You know,
man.
that whole rush thing is a very dangerous thing. I know for me, like, the biggest thing God always has to remind me is slow down. You know what I mean? Like, slow down.
I guess.
Like we're no longer fighting death. Why are we in this big hurry?
That's right.
And we're missing let's break down, I mean, that word that you first brought, our episode 1, abide.
Yeah.
Which is what? Remain present.
Come on.
That there's a moment right here, right now. And if I'm comparing my life with other people, I'm missing my moment and I'm trying to force and rush something. I mean, I think that's the biggest thing. Anything else, man? We did good that one.
Good.
I think you're right on time. Say it. You're right on time. We're right on time.
We're right on time.
Come on.
I didn't even bring my watch today. That's how we're good. All right. The next question is how to know God's destiny for your life. How to know God's destiny for your life.
I think I think it's the same thing. And at least for me, I'm curious, you guys, like, enjoying God.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I went to Nova and I was going to junior college, but I was just meeting God. And like, I switched my major so many times, but it wasn't until like I was really enjoying God that things started kind of coming. Things just kind of came out. Like I was just enjoying God. So I stopped going to college and enjoying God. And through that, like someone told me like, hey, maybe you should try speaking. Like it was Pastor Leslie being like, hey, why don't you try preaching this Tuesday? And I'm like, no, I'm good. Yeah. I had no idea I enjoyed public speaking. I didn't know I enjoyed doing what we're doing until I was 26 years old. It took me 26 years. Yeah. And what brought it about was, once again, just enjoying God.
Come on. Yeah.
Enjoying God. Just enjoying God. And all of a sudden I realized I like public speaking. I love preaching. I didn't know. And then through that, you know, led to, okay, maybe I should go to school for this. Going to school for this, there's speech and debate team. Through that, I got a scholarship. Didn't have to pay for college. You know what I mean? It all rooted from intimacy with Him, just enjoying God.
That's good.
You know, I know that's for me. And I'm not saying you shouldn't go out there. Like I had to test things. I tried. Oh my God, I switched my major from physical therapy.
No way.
I was going to be an IT major.
No way.
Wow.
Could you imagine
I was gonna,
IT?
Could you imagine, me, this big old dude breaking AT&T.
You like the guy from you seen the guy in Incredibles?
Yeah,
just Incredibles.
But like, I'm curious for you
It's
guys.
good.
I mean, I wasn't thinking about my life. I was thinking more so about, although we could use my life if you want. I prefer looking at Jesus. I was thinking of, I mean, Luke 2:52 is like the only scripture we have of between baby Jesus and grown man Jesus is like he grew in wisdom and stature, favor with God and favor with man. Yeah. Like he was in the synagogue. He's like, don't you know about my father's business? But like even that was a moment of him being intimate with his father. But the only thing that happened between him being born and him actually starting his ministry, stepping into his destinies, into his purpose, which is like, you know, we can use these words like purpose, destiny, and it depends on how you define them, whoever's asking the question. Yeah. So this may be like, that's not what I mean. Yeah. If you're thinking of like a Disney, you know, idea of destiny, but like biblically, like Jesus was stepping into his destiny, but what did he do before that? And he was in no rush. He took 30 years to grow in wisdom, to grow in stature, to grow in favor with God, to grow in favor. And like, then he stepped into his destiny, but he took his time as Yeshua, as Jesus, and the Christ in him, the fully man and fully God, both in one, and Christ in him taking over every facet of who he is. And so that when he got crushed, when he got beaten to death, when he got, when people rejected him, people stabbed him in the back, when people betrayed him, when people would draw on him, even in the middle of a crowd, like the woman with the issue of blood, all these things, he was 30 years preparing to walk into that. And so, but none of it was wasted. And it just wasn't all highlighted and pretty and out in public. So I think that I've been learning recently, back to even this morning, it's like there's things that are happening in private that no one will ever see, no one will ever know, but I value so deeply because he's doing something in me, Christ in me, the hope of glory, the hope of my destiny is
Come
like,
on.
it's happening in private where no one can see it. But that's a great question.
That's good. I
Whoever
like
asked
that. Okay, I just have a question about the question, but okay, the woman with the issue of blood, the woman at the well, all the people that God healed, do you think they cared about their destiny after they were made whole? Do you know? After she stopped bleeding, or after the woman at the hell finally got redeemed, like, do you think they went and they were like, "What's my destiny now, God?" Or do you think they were fulfilled when they touched her?
I don't know. I disagree. I think all of us, when you meet him, destiny kind of changes. Like, if you would have asked me if I was 12, I was going to be a children's pastor, do podcasts, work at a church, love God like the way I do now, I would have told you you're nuts.
Yeah.
I would have told you I was going to be a rock star or some kind of, like, when you meet him, dude, everything just changes.
Yeah.
Like
a
everything,
Saul or Paul.
everything just changes.
Like Saul or Paul, yeah.
Like the things that you once loved, it just, like, I got born again when I said, like, I was my senior year of high school, and I started going to church for the first time, and I couldn't wait to go. And at that time, the Lakers were getting their three-peat, which I never missed a game. And I remember it was a Monday night, and my dad's like, "Where are you going?" And I'm like, "I'm going to church." He was like, "What in the world?" And I realized, oh my God, like, I'm really enjoying this. Like, like, I never liked church growing. I never, like, when he became real, like things just change. He just, the things that used to taste good don't taste good. It's like it's a supernatural thing.
Yeah.
So I think for all of them, it just changes. It's different.
Yeah.
I'm sure they were like, okay, I used to want to do this. Now this has kind of wrecked me forever.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. Like the woman at the well, her job was to go and get the well, but then her destiny changed to, let me tell you about this man that knew everything about me.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think how to know God's destiny for your life is you spend time with him and you let him love you.
Yeah.
And he'll change you. You guys ready for the next question? Hey, great questions, by the way. Thank you guys for being brave and even asking
these are really great questions.
We didn't prep for any of these. We're literally like intimacy. Let's read them, and then we just start answering right now. Yeah. So here we go. So question: what's an example of knowing when you're on the right path?
Oh, when you're on the right path?
How do you know? Never mind. Go ahead. I was gonna say, what's the right path? What's the wrong path?
Yeah.
Like,
Read again.
What's an example of knowing when you're on the right path? Well, I thought I was on the right path when my heart was broken. I was like messing people up. I thought I was on the right path. And then I met God and I was like, where was I? I don't know. All that what came straight to my heart was just, I put before you life or death, choose life. So I don't know. Like, if you're pursuing life, are you on the right path? Or if you're pursuing death, are you on the wrong path? Like, what is the right path?
I know for me, it's just when you recognize him, like, kind of like for me, the season I've been in it was easy for me to go, because I'm not enjoying it. The season I was in, going, I'm on the wrong path. I'm not enjoying it. Oh. But then I connected with him. He's like, you're on the right path. Your focus is off.
That's so good.
You see the difference? Once again, it goes back to the word intimacy. I was trying to do this thing and I was whining and complaining. I'm on the wrong path. And then I hit a place where I had to go to him. And I'm like, I'm not enjoying this. Is wrong. He's like, Abel, you're on the right path. You're just missing it. Your focus is off.
Yeah.
And he was teaching me. I was in a season of endurance. I was in a season of just enjoying him and waiting. And I missed it because my focus was, I need to get out. I need to get out of this.
Yes.
And I don't know. Like I said, it just always goes back to, well, what's your connection to him?
Yeah.
He'll tell you. There's no right or wrong. The answer is, you're a son, you're a beloved, he's with you. What is your connection to him and what is he saying?
Yeah.
I mean, I think so many of us, I almost missed my upgrade because I thought I was on the wrong path.
Yeah. Ooh.
But then I connected with him. He's like, no, you're on the right path. You're just being selfish.
Come on.
I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So what are you trying to do in this season, God? I'm building your strength. I need you. He said, I'm answering your prayer. You said you wanted me to be everything. So I'm exposing things where I'm not everything.
Yeah. Wow.
And that's what he's doing.
Yeah.
And so now it's like, okay, I know that. Now I'm patiently enjoying the season because I got the focus of I'm intimate with Ken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that helps, but
that's good. That's
what do you
really
think,
good.
Rooster?
I'm just kind of inhaling everything you guys are saying right now.
Right,
it's so
because
good.
right path. I don't know if there's like a specific. I mean, do you think Meshach and Abednego were in the fire going, I think we're on the right path,
burning?
like, you know what I mean? You read the Bible. I don't think anyone thinks they all look like wrong paths. Joseph thrown in a
jail.
well by his brothers,
Yeah.
sold into slavery.
Yeah.
It's so easy to go, I'm on the wrong path, I'm on the wrong path, I'm on the wrong path. But the question is, who are you with?
I think if you, I always thought about like the Bible talks about your word is a light unto my path,
That's
a lamp unto
good.
my feet, right?
Yeah.
And so and Jesus talks about in John 14 that I am the way, I'm the truth, and the life. And so in terms of like, oh, I don't know how to get there. I don't know what's the
Yeah.
way? And he's like, it's me. I'm the way, right? And so the word, without the word, it's so hard to find out where I should put my weight.
That's good.
Where should I establish my next step? But with the word, like the living word, the written word, what you know what I mean? I think the written word introduces you to the living word, but either one, you need them both to illuminate where is it safe to put my weight. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
good.
Like, I think I found, there's times where things are absolutely going to poop and, bleep that out. But there's things that are going really bad on paper, but I've never felt more established in my life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I know what you
Like
mean.
like on
Yeah.
solid ground because all of my weight's in his hands. And it could even be like literally I think I've come in here for one of these podcasts one time and you guys like you kept calling me Superman. Like, I don't know how you're doing this. There's like so
Yeah,
much
you're
crazy stuff
Superman.
going on.
You're killing it.
And I was so full of joy because my source was not coming from what's going on around me, but it was like all my weight's in his hands.
Come on.
You know?
Yeah.
But that doesn't come outside of intimately like trusting him, fully putting your weight on him. We were with the middle schoolers the other day, and Carter was standing on top of the table, and I was like, I have been in the gym every day. I've been drinking protein. I've been eating. I've been like you saw me with the raw chickens. I've been working out sometimes 2 days. I've been working out. I can lift 245 pounds front squatted like this.
Crazy.
Easy.
Superman.
And jump rope. I've been working my butt off. I'm telling you, I've been working my butt off so hard. But you'll never experience unless you jump in my arms, you know, and like put your weight in my where you're willing to put your weight actually determines what you'll experience. And like even in God, it's like He's strong, He's powerful, He's a pure provider. But without you putting your weight in Him, it'll change what you experience. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
really good.
But sometimes without, I invited Carter. I said, "Come here." And so sometimes we miss out on the words that Jesus are speaking to us
Yeah.
of where to put our weight.
Yeah.
And we'll be like, "Oh, things are going crazy. Am I on the right path?" Just look to Him, be intimate with Him. Hey, God, where do I need to put my weight here?
Yeah.
Or what is looking to put my weight on you in this place?
Beautiful. I love that.
That's good.
And all that comes to my heart is James 1, and it's, my brethren, count it all joy when you fall into various trials, knowing that the testing of your faith produces patience. But let patience have its perfect work, that you may be perfect and complete, lacking nothing. If any of you lacks wisdom, let him ask of God, who gives to all liberally and without reproach, and it will be given to him. And it's so funny because that word joy, it's like, oh, if I'm not having fun, then I'm doing it wrong. Or like, if it doesn't, no, that word joy is the exact same word that the three wise men used when they saw the star that was pointing towards Jesus with all their gifts. But I think we don't have fun because, they were riding like camels. These wise men were like, and camels stink. I've been around them. They stink. They're really nasty. They feel like grease. It's just not fun being with these camels. But I think we don't get to have fun because we're like, man, I'm still surrounded by all this stinkiness. Like I'm still surrounded in the desert. And so we're so concerned from getting to point A to point B that we miss the fun that God has for us in the wilderness, So back to like, we're trying to change our circumstance rather than letting God love us in the moment.
Yeah.
And it's really beautiful because the only reason they were even out there was because they got a word from the king. Like the wise men got a message from the king that told them, if you follow this star, you'll get to Jesus. And I love it because the star that you actually have, which I thought it was a North Star, it's actually an East Star, is the Holy Spirit.
Come on.
The person that is literally inside of you, Jesus is inside of you. Like there is literally no distance. There's no separation. So what you do is if you don't know if you're on the right path, you turn towards that king and you're like, God, what do you think? and be happy and count it all joy with the word that he gives you. What he gave me was, I just want to love you. And I'm like, God,
Gracious.
give me a map.
Yeah.
But the minute that I was okay with, okay, you want to love me right here? I got more. He revealed even more. Does that make sense?
Can I
Yeah.
can
Yeah,
I
go ahead.
say, please, if you're watching this, pause it like for a second and just allow this to be more than a podcast or information, but it's an invitation to be intimate with him. Seriously. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you for sharing what you're sharing. Because it's not, you're blessing me now. Just talking about getting from point A to point B. Like I've been on like a long trip. I do kind of get bugged out with directions. But like if I was driving with you somewhere, I wouldn't care if we got lost on the way to Walmart or Home Depot. I'd be just so happy to be around you because I'm enjoying our relationship. I think sometimes when we allow getting from point A to point B to matter more than who we get to do it with, that's what we miss out on. It's like, oh, am I doing this right? Am I doing this wrong?
Yeah.
Is this the right? I'm not making fun of anyone whoever asking the question.
Right.
Am I on the right path?
We missed the fun.
We missed the fun.
If he's the way, get lost in the way.
Yeah, come on.
If he is the path, if it's him, then get lost in it.
Yeah.
And make that a priority over everything else, and that's it.
Yeah.
I think we have this picture of like, okay, God's taking me from A to B, and we think it's like this.
Yeah.
And it's like Nate said, no, he's gonna.
Yeah.
You think of Joseph's story. It's like we'll go in here, then we'll go in here, then we'll go in here, and then we'll get there.
Yeah.
And it's like he enjoys us.
He does.
Like enjoy the path. Yeah, that's an interesting, but the right path. Yeah, I'm still kind of stuck on the right path. Because have you guys ever been on the wrong path and knew it?
I don't think he's ever wasted anything in my life.
There it
I mean,
is.
you look at so much stuff.
Come
like,
on.
If you look at even the things that Samson did, even these guys who didn't have, I mean, the Holy Spirit would drop on them to use them to use them, and but he never wasted it. Even Samson,
King David blew big time
for sure.
Yeah,
but none of it wasted. I mean, I used to hate reading that story, but now I look back and I go and I'm like, I Psalm 51 or what? I'm like, thank you God, like thank you for what he went through. I mean, even I was weeping recently thinking about the people who he led him through. Is it okay to talk about this? Sometimes I forget we're on a podcast and people are like listen. But just between us, I cry so hard. My face gets swollen sometimes. I think about he led them through dry land. There was a Red Sea. He split it. And then they were just like, we're hungry. And then he fed them manna from heaven. And they're like, nah, we don't like
every
this
day.
Food. And then he's like, look, here's a promised land that I promised you. And they're like, man, I don't want to. And I'm like, God, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry that they missed it. Do you know? That breaks my heart that they miss it. Like everything that he's done for them. And he didn't waste it. He didn't waste their whining
He
even.
He
didn't even waste their whining. Like that's touching my life right now that they whined. So they weren't doing the right thing on paper, but God doesn't waste it.
Yeah.
They weren't going the right way on paper, but God doesn't waste it. He's like, look at Caleb, look at Joshua, look at these guys. There's a different spirit about this one.
Yeah.
He doesn't waste it. And I think my life, I've been there whining. I've been there going the wrong way. I've been there longing for Egypt. I've been there like, let it take me back. I want to go back. And God's like, oh, that breaks my heart, but I'm not going to waste that.
It's so good.
Come on. Redeemed, right?
Man, that's it. I literally thought about the prodigal son, and how he like begged for his father's inheritance because he thought that was the right way. Grabbed his inheritance, and that word prodigal means to waste and extravagant living. So he was balling. It's like he went to Las Vegas, balled out, lost everything, and then ended up with pigs, and all that. But the beauty behind it is that did he go on the path he thought was right? Who cares? At the end, the father was waiting to hug him and give him kisses on your neck. You know how intimate you have to be? How secure you have to be with your father in order to get kisses on your stinking neck? I still haven't gotten kisses on my neck from my dad, and I love him to pieces, but God gets to kiss me on my neck every stinking day. Like, that's beautiful intimacy right there. So whether he went the right path or the wrong path, it ended up coming back to the father who already had a fat calf ready for him, who had a robe ready for him, who had sandals ready for him, who had a ring with a seal and his name for him.
Come on.
And so I think in my heart, it doesn't matter if you're on the right path or the wrong path. Where's the father? Are you with the father?
That's good.
Chaba?
No, that's good. I think even like the prodigal son, I always think of the moment where he almost didn't go back. And he thought, he's having that thought. He's like, well, maybe if I go back, I'll be able to get, in the garage. I think we think like that about God sometimes. Like you said, I'm on the wrong path. I'm on the wrong path. Oh gosh, is he going to take me back? Yes, like you said, he's going to. He's going to redeem. He's redeeming everything. And I think we miss those moments because we have such a poor image of who God is. We all have a poor image of really what a perfect father looks like, because none of us had it. And I think that's the path that we're all on, that he's revealing to us. He's absolutely perfect. His love is perfect. It doesn't have off days. He keeps no record of wrong. He thinks no evil. Even in those moments we're in the dirt, he's still hoping for the best. He just does not stop. And like that moment where the son, you know, he has that moment like, maybe if I go back, I could be a slave. And then imagine that moment. He's like, have you been like this the whole time I was gone? And the father's like, I've been standing here the whole time.
Yeah.
And like he does that for us.
He does.
Like he doesn't turn off. It's the biggest thing I teach the kids in there is I go to the light switch and I go, he doesn't turn off, you know? When you go to the bathroom, he doesn't like turn off the lights. His light is always on.
So good.
So I love that. I think we broke it down. Next question. Is that all of them?
That's all of them. That's all the ones that we were able to do.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I think we rocked it out.
I think so too.
Man, this has been fun.
Can we get some shout outs?
To God?
Since this is the last one of the season. Is there anyone you want to give shout outs to?
Yo, my wife.
Come on, Jackie.
Bless Jackie when we say we love her.
Jackie Jack.
Bless her soul. If you want to have her make me some ribs, that's great too, God. But we just shout her out in Jesus' name. Rooster too. Thank you so much for doing all our sound. You're amazing. I just love you so much. Who else?
Like viewers.
Oh, viewers too.
Oh my God.
Feeling? All our guests?
All the viewers. Thank you so much for watching. I mean, we're just going to tell you why we created this. It kind of came on our heart to really, I think you and I liked podcasts. And I said, I want to do something with the three of us where we want to become each other's biggest fans. And that's how this all started. All three of us, and all four of us, we just wanted to become each other's biggest fans. And this provided an opportunity to kind of build something. So viewers, thank you so much for enjoying it. And where we're going, I encourage you, please comment. If anything you're going through, I guarantee you someone else is going through it. So if just write something you would love for us to take the roof off. I mean, we would love to know, we're all on different journeys, how God's revealing how much he wants intimacy. How much he's wanting to intimacy means you're being loved. Like, do you know you're being loved? But yeah, anything else? Did we take the roof off
and
it?
Then I think we took the roof off of it. And I do have a special shout out. And it's my army friend, Wisdom. I love you so much. We had a wisdom teeth taken out together. That's why I call her Wisdom. She calls me Wisdom too. But shout out to you. I just love you so much. Thanks for being amazing. You're great.
Yeah.
And I think we took the roof off intimacy, right?
Yeah.
Cool. And great questions. Thank you for sitting here.
Thank you so much for your questions, man. We want more.
We want more.
I'm going to say hi to my mom.
Yeah.
My sister. I have to say hi to my sister, Alicia. She told me to give her a shout out. I did it. Hi, Alicia. I love you.
Sweet.
That's so sweet.
I got
Rooster, how about
family.
you?
I was thinking of one person. Oh, I texted my wife already. I gave her a shout out in the middle of the thing. But
does it start with an L?
No.
Okay, never mind.
No. She already gave her a shout out.
Oh, we already gave. Okay, you're right.
But there's one person. I was super discouraged after one of these podcasts. And Michelle came up to me.
Come on.
I won't give last names or anything just for privacy, but
Michelle,
thank you so much for bringing your heart to these podcasts. Even though you're not behind the camera or in front of the cameras, it's like you're bringing stuff out of us just by watching and engaging your hearts in. So everyone, Celeste who came on here, thank you for all the guests we've had on here.
All the guests, we love you.
You guys have done
Clap
so
for
much,
yourself.
seriously. Yeah,
Clap for yourself. Clap for yourself.
Yeah, we love you guys so much.
Heck yeah.
All right. Well, we'll be back for season 2. And like I said, we're not taking a long break. I think we're just going to do, just 1 week? 1 week. And we'll be back. And we're in the studio.
Yeah, we're in the studio, and we love you.
And we go together.
That's it. And we might come back faster if you like, comment, subscribe.
Yeah.
We might come back real
Share
quick.
Share it.
Share it.
Retweet it.
MySpace it. MySpace it.
Is that still a thing?
Big time.
All right, Jackie's like, shut it down. All right, we love you.
No Roof Podcast. We'll see you next time.
Love you.